Hi besties, and we back, and we back, and we back. Yeah. So today we're gonna be talking about jealousy in friendships and pretty privilege. So usually I get like comments about how pretty I am, how pretty my eye color is, my skin tone, and how like I have a lot of different colors in my skin, and my birthmark is everywhere, and I got a mole on my lip, and all of these things since I was a little girl. Like my eyes change color, so people always be like, "Oh, you're gonna be a heartbreaker," and my skin has always been light. It was lighter than this, and I've always been told like, "Oh, you're gonna be a heartbreaker," da da da, and I'm just like, okay, but like then when I started liking boys, I was boy crazy. Whatever, that's none of the time. That's no time. But I've always been told these things because of how fair skinned I am and how pretty my eyes are, because they change colors. They used to be blue when I was little. Now they don't turn blue no more. They're just hazel, green, gray, and brown, and sometimes orange, which is in the hazel. But all of these factors is something that you get accustomed to hearing, and when you don't hear it anymore, it kind of messes up with your view of how you feel. And then also, like, baby, I used to be 130 to 150, no higher than 150 pounds, and so I felt like I was like a model body. Like, I will never get big. I'm always gonna stay this little. I'm gonna have the nice little sit up booby loop loops and a nice little gluteus whoopy whoops, and my stomach gonna be forever. So when you get older, you get this mentality like, oh, I'm the because I've been told I'm the my whole life. Why not be the But I was never properly told how to care and love myself, even though I was you feel what I'm saying? So like, when I started to have that for myself, and I started to realize like, oh, there's advantages of being light skinned with pretty eyes. There's advantages of having friends who are also pretty, and people will buy you stuff. People will grovel to you. People will want to be with you and be around you, sometimes for all the wrong reasons. But I didn't care because I was getting this attention, especially attention that I really wasn't getting at home or from people that I felt like should have been giving me a different type of attention, but I didn't know what kind of attention. I was just trying to get any kind of attention. And I know, like, you're so pretty, why nobody was giving you attention? It was the wrong type of attention, and I didn't like it, or I liked it but I didn't understand it. So it was mostly them taking advantage of me. And as I got older, I realized like I didn't like that type of attention. I wanted to be respected and valued and stuff like that. And so I started to look for female friends, and I have a hard time having female friends and male friends, because 9 times out of 10 they want to sleep with me. I don't know what it is about the female friends, I don't know what it is about the male friends, but eventually we either start drinking or we get into a point where we're alone, and people just start telling you like, oh, I've always liked you, I've always loved you, I always want to be with you, can we boop 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 boop, can we boop 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 boop, and then you feel disgusted. Like, at first it's flattering because you're thinking like, oh wow, like these people just really like me, like whatever. You can be naive all you want, it's not that. They're lusting after you. And even if they're in love with you, why are you hiding in the shadows? Why are you pretending to be my friend and whole time you're not? You don't really like me. That's toxic. I don't want stuff like that. And a lot of the times when you have pretty skin, whether you're dark skin, light skin, brown skin, whatever the case, when you're beautiful inside and out, and people like want to be in your skin, literally, I don't mean this figuratively, I mean a little figuratively, but literally want to be in your skin, you run across a lot of fake people. When I was growing up, I met this person in high school. We were friends for a very long time, but I didn't peep that they were jealous of me. They called me a HOE all the time. They always criticized everything I wore, made me feel like a small person. They had a little bit better of a structured home than I did, but it wasn't the best, but it was better than mine, for sure. And they eventually took a big loss in their life, which I understand, which gave them a lot of setback with their securities and stuff like that. And it's really hard for that situation. I'm not gonna put too much of the business out there because, you know, not my business to put. But at the end of the day, they treated me like it was my fault that I was beautiful. It was my fault that I have fair skin and pretty eyes. It was my fault that I'm a black girl. My parents are darker than me. they're darker than me, y'all. Nobody in my mom and dad, as far as my mom and dad, are half white or nothing. They're darker than me, y'all. And so because I come out and I have a bubbly attitude, I take things with a grain of salt. I always try to keep a positive attitude. Don't do too much now, because before I was a people pleaser. Now I don't give a f. I try to keep a positive attitude. I try not to complain much, or I try not to like pinpoint every time somebody's being shady towards me or something like that. But it's really hard when you are nice, like you have dark skin and you're considered perfect dark skin, and you have those perfect lips, and you have that perfect shape, or you're light skin and you have that perfect hair, or you have perfect whatever people think is perfect, and they pinpoint it out. Like me, there's not a lot of people in this world who uses their pretty privilege for good. I use my pretty privilege for good. If I'm with my friends and not everybody in the group feels pretty, or somebody coming approaching all of us and people acting crazy, oh well, I like you and you, but that person, or da da da, we don't do that around here. You don't have to like us all, but you're not finna disrespect none of the girls. Or you don't have to like us all, but you're not finna point out the specific person that you don't like and try to make it a big deal because they're dark skinned, or because they're not light skinned enough, or because they look like this, or because I don't do that. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be all up in my grill trying to see what I'm about. Then I'm finna make you spend some money, or I'm finna make you treat us all like princesses, or whatever the case is. Because when people only want to come around to lust for you, bruh, it sucks. And so having a jealous best friend on top of having lustful people around you, it sucks. Like, now you feel like everybody feels like you're cocky. You start doubting yourself, start thinking like, dang, like, am I cocky? Do I dress like an HOE? Am I too friendly? Like, people love to call me friendly because I'm pretty and I'm nice. Bro, I'm not really friendly for real. I'm nice and respectful because a lot of the times my life has been threatened, from turning people down and saying no. So I'm a lot nicer, but don't get it twisted. And once I learn how to baby, you might want to be cautious about how you talk to me and how you threaten me, because I don't even play like that no more. But beforehand, I would just smile and say thank you. Like, sometimes I still give people my number, and I'm so scared of them and I don't want to talk to them at all, but I give them my number because I don't want to DIE. You feel what I'm saying? And when you have people in your circle who don't like you, they're going to put you in positions to where you could possibly DIE because they're jealous of you, and the people that are trying to talk to you don't have any good intentions for you. So now they're trying to push you to talk to these people or try to get in your head. And if you're not strong enough, you'll let it happen. I had this other friend, and a lot of people like have mixed feelings about when you have friends that are in abusive relationships. I have this saying: if that person don't give about you and your child, what makes you think they give about me and mine? I love you, baby, but you gotta love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, there's nothing I can do. I'm not gonna completely cut you off, like you can't ever hit me up and ask me how I'm doing, but hanging out, dead. Being in my face, dead. Being around my kid and I in my home and knowing where I'm at and they know where you at, dead. I don't do none of that. We're not doing that. And it's like, it takes a real person to understand that. And eventually they'll get jealous of you. Like, one time I was at work and I worked at this center, and I got my hair done. It was my birthday. I put on a little wiggy wig. If you see my profile picture on TikTok, you know. I put on a little wiggy wig. Feel me? I don't really wear tracks and wigs and stuff like that for real. I either wear my natural hair or braids. And I looked good. And the person was complimenting me like this: you look really beautiful. Like, wow. Like, you're really a baddie. Fix your face. Why are you grumping at me like that? You feel what I'm saying? So, like, whether you're dark skin, light skin, brown skin, fair skin, non-fair skin, whatever skin tone you are, vitiligo, re-vitiligo, I don't really care what color you are. When you're beautiful inside and out, when you have a pure heart and when you have a pure soul, regardless of what you know you are, a lot of people ain't gonna with that. They gonna think you fake. They not gonna think you real for real. So my message is, hey, do you, baby boo? Because at the end of the day, if you ain't got haters, is you really popping for real? No, but seriously, y'all, it's hard out here for us pretty girls who have genuine hearts and spirits and that are not ugly on the inside but beautiful on the outside. So just take it easy on us. Like, be understanding to us. And yes, that sounds weird. Like, you're pretty. What do you have to complain for? A lot, bruh. We get treated so bad because we pretty and we know we're pretty. That's what you want us to be sad and depressed? No, I'm not gonna walk around, I'm so ugly. No, I'm beautiful and I know I am. I may not always feel the best mentally, but I'm not finna die down myself just to make anybody feel better anymore. Bye, besties. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow, besties. Bye.